Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is a Pebble, a weekly podcast brought to you by Christian Therapy. If you're going through something in life, go to Christian Therapy. It's the only proper therapy to go through if you think you actually need therapy, because they have the answers. They have the solutions. They'll put you back on the right path. Christian Therapy, brought to you by the Christian Therapy Counselors of America.
No,
Hey,
thanks. I'll pass.
You'll pass on grass.
Mm-hmm.
I pass on grass, Fokker. So, Can, what's been troubling you
What's
this
the cooking?
week?
Nothing's troubling me.
Well, that's good. Yay.
Okay. All right. I mean, I could come up with all sorts of problems in the world and in my own, I don't know, I try not to focus on them too much, but, you try to focus on the solutions and not stew on the things you can't control. That's always a work in progress for me. But I wanted to talk today about like where we are, because I know we started this podcast a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I broke my leg. That'll always be the time I broke my leg, right? I was healing from that.
Yeah, you were high on
oxytocin. I don't know. Did they give me that?
Was it oxytocin or Oxycontin? It was oxy something.
Are they the same thing?
You were on some good stuff.
I don't really like those drugs, though. I don't like that. I don't think it was Percocet.
You did the first couple days home because you're like, I don't have enough. I need more.
Because the pain was so. Because I was trying half pills, I think, because I usually don't like to take the full. My body responds quickly.
Yes.
To stuff. But anyways, we started it for one reason. And I just want to use this time in this space to talk about where we're going now. Well, do we have the same vision? Let's just kind of discuss. And we haven't discussed this before. I mean, we have been kind of off and on, but not really.
We have the same vision.
And what is that vision? Let's make sure we do. Like, I don't know that we do.
It's the same vision we have every night, Candy. To conquer the world.
Okay, you're the brain. So I'm Pinky.
Candy and the brain. Candy and the brain.
Oh, I do not think so.
One's a genius, the other's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a perfect face for that, too.
Now when I said that's crazy. Okay.
Yikes. All right, so that's the end of our marriage and podcast.
And we're out.
Yeah. I think we still have the same vision. We're just going to focus it more to, because I think for the first 2.5 years, we kind of been focusing on the past of where we came from, the church trauma and all that, and just dealing with.
Which I think will still be.
We'll still touch it.
We
can't never get away from that. We're always going to have that as a reference point, and it's going to come up. But we were like solely. You look at that first year; it was so focused on these issues of the church. What's going on.
I haven't even listened to those. I could go back.
Listened to any of them.
I haven't. I have not listened to a full podcast because once we record it, then I heard it. And then I listen to your clips.
Listened to many multiple times.
I know you have. You always listen through it.
But I'm a narcissist that really wants to listen to his own voice.
You are thorough and detailed with. You do a lot of the technical side, not all of it. I do some of it on the back, especially if you're making me work more on it. But
especially making me work more on it. Rude.
No, you've just added to what it's fair. I am a part of this, and I need to do some of the yucky work behind the scenes. But I also have a lot of different things going on. Yeah. But I it's not too much. I can do it. So, but what I would say, my original thoughts for me starting this, and I think we had talked about what you thought too, and I think we were on the same page. Is we just wanted to not challenge ideas, but get people talking, get people thinking, get people stir their curiosity about how they saw Christianity, evangelical Christianity particularly, but also how they saw, all the other things that are everybody's talking about, patriarchy and misogyny and racism and all this stuff. We've touched on pretty much everything. All the main kind of stuff. We talk about it all. Is that still our vision? Is to just okay, I'll just speak for myself. Partly, yes, I want to continue. I like to stir thought. I don't want to tell the people what to think. I'll share my ideas of what I think is going on or how I would interpret something, but also knowing that there's a ton of different ways to view things. But I also want to give people a sneak peek or a peek behind the curtain of a couple who has deconstructed.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, we've grown. So, our childhood was just focused heavily on the Christian past and the issues that we saw. It was basically going through our deconstruction, the things we saw that we deconstructed from, that we see as contradictory or just plain false from the faith and how it's being taught, and trying to stir up the questions on that in and of itself. And I think where we're going more now with some of these newer episodes that are coming out is dealing with more of the now, of what's going on with just life in general, I think. And we're going to do it from our perspective and how we see it. So it's kind of, just a peek behind of, hey, this is how we're dealing with this.
This is how.
And it's going to be more, I think. It's going to be more about what's just kind of going on and how we're dealing
almost just watching us grow and change in real time. But it's also like drop the stones if we continue, because we've even discussed calling it Dan and Candy or Dan and Can, which we might switch it to that just to kind of create this cohesive, because that's what it's called on YouTube, I think. But just because I don't know if we ever talked about I think we did, why we called it Drop the Stones originally. Drop the Stones was in reference to the biblical story where the woman was caught in adultery. The Pharisees or the religious leaders brought her in front of Jesus and said, basically, do what the law says. She needs to be stoned. And he said, the first of without sin needs to cast the first stone, and nobody cast the first stone. And Jesus said, I don't condemn you, and let her go, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Drop the Stones came from, which I think, to be fair, we have thrown stones at Christianity, right? We have thrown stones at, we're not totally deconstructed or free from throwing stones. It's human nature to kind of do it. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong necessarily. It's just something that we do. But what we want to do is cause ourselves to stop and think, as you judge yourself less, you'll judge others less, right? But Christianity, the reason it looks like we're throwing stones, we're not throwing stones at the people, though it does come across that way sometimes. But in our heart of hearts, what we've been throwing stones at or attempting to throw stones at is a system that is oppressing people, a system that is full of lies, a system that is based in power dynamics where you are not on top. And you know what I'm saying? Somebody has power over you. And we don't believe that is what true spirituality looks like, or true religion, if you want to call it that, should look like, right? It should be, there should be this freedom, this curiosity, this freedom to explore, and there should be lots of diversity to it. So I don't know if we want to stay with Drop the Stones or if we want to call it Dan and Can, but it's really, I think what we want to do is show kind of how Drop the Stones is growing up, basically.
Yeah.
That, you called it our childhood. I don't know if you meant to on purpose, but Drop the Stones, that was our childhood phase.
Yeah.
And so we're making a shift. It's going to look, as we shift, we don't know where we're going to land yet. So you might see it might look different. It might sound different. It'll still be us talking about the things we talk about. But we're playing around with, because this is our thing that we get to play with, and we're actually exploring. This is part of deconstruction too. We're finding out, because we have these conversations behind the scenes. We're just putting them out for the world to hear. And we thought maybe somebody will get something out of it. And lots of you do, it seems like. And we hope more do. And so we're going to continue to put our energy into something that we hope will grow and will benefit others. And it will also benefit us as we do that.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it. And it's time for it to make a shift, because nothing stays stagnant. Everything's changing and growing, and it should.
Yeah. And honestly, it's not going to change it. I mean, it's going to be tough to really notice.
No, it'll be subtle and stuff like that. I'm just letting people know,
there'll probably be some big changes, because we're talking about readjusting our setup on how we do it.
The physical setup.
Yeah. I'm looking at different programming to use so we can actually incorporate videos through a podcast.
Yeah.
So that if we wanted to pull up a TikTok that we reference,
we would like to do some commentary sometimes on videos.
Pull that up.
Yeah.
And more YouTube and TikTok friendly stuff too. Mm-hmm. So to get on that. So there are going to be some different noticeable changes, but as content goes, it's going to shift.
It'll still be us. It'll still have the same vibe, same feel to it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be us mostly, just sharing.
It's going to be like kind of what because the original thought of everything was just going to be conversations with Dan and Cam, and just, because we're having conversations, before we started this, and we're like, we should record some of this, because
it was interesting to us. So
we were full of ourselves. Yeah. We're like, this is some good shit. People need to hear what we have to say.
We have stuff to say, and they need to listen to us, we've used that phrase. Everybody knows who's been listening. I'm ready to shift into something different in this area.
We're probably going to get more to that, where we're just having conversations about different stuff. And honestly, that will probably seem almost identical to what it was before, because I've come in with a topic, and within 3 minutes, we're on something completely different. Mm-hmm. And
we'll still do that. We'll still have floppy dicks all over the place.
Yes. And that's going on TikTok. Just that part. Just that part.
I know you're going to do it to me. And
it'll be a story or something. I don't know.
I just don't send it to me. Do not share my name on it. Okay. I don't want to see it.
No, I'm going to share everything.
No.
I'll be like with love, Candy Marie.
You have to, I'm not talking about literal floppy dicks. You have to have seen or listened to our videos in the past and know what I'm talking about.
That came out Wednesday.
So don't get your dirty little minds.
If you listen to the video on Wednesday, you'll understand the floppy dick reference, because that's where it appears.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's going to be probably a lot more of that, where we just kind of me releasing the reins and trying to control a topic and just letting it flow where it goes. And
the hope is that we get more videos that we can do commentary. Like, I really want to go into where we find a TikTok or find somebody on YouTube, where we can actually do some commentary. I like that style. I want to share little clips and then discuss it.
And we might do just plain YouTube videos on that too, where we have a movie or a whatever, and we just do a 30-minute commentary on it.
We could watch some of those Christian movies.
Oh God. Yes.
They're so bad, but it would be so funny.
So yeah, we're looking into some of that stuff too. So.
I think what's happening is we're steering more toward YouTube.
Yeah.
But our podcast is our baby. We will still, everything will be on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. Yeah. But we've met
a lot of people, and we just did a interview here tonight, which was a real good interview. We're going to have another one coming up in a couple weeks after that. So yeah, we're going to still have guests on, because we've met a lot of interesting people, and they have really good perspectives and ideas. And still continuing to meet new people all the time. So we're going to keep doing that, and that'll be like the other ones have been. So, but yeah, we're just kind of just maturing into something a little different. It's not going to be real noticeable. It's just the content may not be so much Christian hate. There'll be some of that still in there, but it's going to be more just how we're dealing with stuff now, probably, I think.
It might have more of a, there might be more Christian, like we might play some stuff that's very Christian and it might appear like, first I want people to understand it's not a hate at people.
Yeah.
It's a hate at a system that we don't see as doing good in the world.
Yeah.
And I know that people who are Christians, that can anger them. That can really upset them to hear that. But that is how I feel. And I feel like we have to share that if we believe that to be true.
Yeah.
And you can use your words to press back against that. No violence or laws should be banning people from saying those things. But if you disagree, you have the right to disagree. You have the right to shut it off and not listen to us anymore or whatever. No Christians are listening to us for any length of time.
No. They usually give us 1 star and give us bad comments.
But that's just part of the whole part of it.
Or they try to challenge us on comments, and it's like, honestly, if you're commenting and you're a Christian, it's a decision I have to make at that time. If I have enough energy to actually get into it and deal with you, then I will. But dealing with Christian comments is
we have the right to not respond to it too.
It's so draining for me. One, I hate confrontation because dealing with it's so draining, and to sit there and try to realize that they're trying to steer a conversation in a certain way and set you up in a trap.
And they're not open-minded at all. You have to know when you're wasting your energy. And then trying
to control and manipulate the conversation back to, no, let's see where you're at fault here too. It gets to be a space that I don't like operating in.
Yeah.
So I got to decide if I want to or not.
Yeah.
Just dealing with that and all that. So we're not out there trying to intentionally piss off a bunch of good Christ followers, but
we're not saying that you have to leave Christianity and that you're bad if you stay in it. We're just exposing some of the things that we saw, and in this space now we want to show the side of when you've deconstructed. What does how does it look day to day? Like, I'm sure in the Christian world, they're telling something. They can't ignore the idea of deconstruction because it has become such a, we were on this path before that word existed, right? Now that you've got deculting, you've got some other words that are used, but deconstruction, whatever you want to call it, deculting, getting out of toxic religion, ex-Christian, ex-evangelical, whatever, all those phrases that are used, they are fairly new. Like, let's see, we've been deconstructing for over 13 years, or about 13 years. And those words came out, probably it amped up in 2020. I don't know if they came out around then, but 2020 was a tipping point, right? And I think they're being told probably that life will be terrible. And, you're told the slippery slope. It ends, yes, all these pleasures. And then, it's going to end terribly. Just like what?
Diddy's house.
But it's like, we want to show, like, we're just normal people. We don't live like tons different than we did as, like, you know what I'm saying? We love each other. We love our kids. We raise our kids. We teach our kids. It's not that different, but yet it's so freeing because you get to explore who you are. You get to discover who you are. You have a voice. You can have disagreeing ideas and thoughts and discuss them without like shutting each other down or, we just want to show that side too. So, because you have these couples on YouTube. You have Paul and Morgan. I don't know if the one girls, what were they called? The girls, it was women who, they were called Girl Deacons. No.
Girl Defined.
Girl Defined. Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have, the Transformed Wife. You have some of these YouTubers that are on there sharing their Christian life, and it's looking so wholesome. And then you find out these things in the background that were going on. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the Girl Defined's husband was struggling with his belief system, and I think he is an atheist now. And I don't know if they talk about how that goes. Maybe they do. And I remember seeing that as a post, and I wrote as a comment, like, either they will not be together eventually, or she will begin to deconstruct.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, well, that's not always the case. Sometimes Christians, and I was like, yeah, that can happen. But evangelical Christians are a specific breed, basically. That type of teaching it's very like, you don't stay yoked together. And it is really in the scripture verses, it would be up to the non-Christian to leave. So it would be up to the guy who's the atheist in this situation to want to leave. Mm-hmm. And so that wife may stay and be miserable. It could just, it's just interesting, right? So you see these things, but I want you to see like a deconstructed, like, we're not living a contrary life than what you're hearing here. Mm-hmm. Do we talk about everything in our lives? No, but we've pretty much hit on we've hit on a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that we're like, no, that's something we won't discuss. We don't know, like, there might be things that we discuss less or that we might wait on just for our own privacy, but not because we're trying to hide anything or we have this different, like, what you see is what you get. Like, we're real people who are really deconstructed, who are really believing that we don't believe in this Christian God at all anymore, and we once did, and we can show that life is actually pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's a good life. And maybe some people think, oh, well, you can enjoy it now because you're going to burn in hell forever. Well, I'm going to take that risk,
mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. It's just learn how to get away from the black and the white and understand it's all gray.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the gray a lot, some changes are coming. It's going to look a little different, but it'll still be very similar to what it has been, I think.
There'll be a definite, the main thing that keeps people listening will still be there, but we might try different styles, and we might try, really the point of bringing this up is to show that we might be trying some different things to see what sticks, and it's not so much about that we love our audience. We want you to enjoy it. We want to bring something of benefit to you. It's also, we have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We're not doing things for, this costs us money to do this. We're not doing it because, we have to enjoy it. We're not people pleasing here. You know what I'm saying? This has to be enjoyable to us. We have to bring something that we feel is beneficial to you, but also is enjoyable to us. And that's important too. So.
Yep. Outstanding. So, All right. Well, just want to give you that heads up. So DannyCan.com, go check it out. Get everything Dropped Stones related, Transform Life related, Candy's blog, Candy's Substack.
Okay, you don't have to say all the things every time. Just go danandcan.com.
Okay, well,
that's where everything is.
In the candy jar. So go look in the candy jar and you'll find all the candy. I should put it in a little candy jar. Be like, here, if you want to enter the candy jar, here it is. And then the Dan jar. That doesn't have the same ring to it. What can we call yours? The Daninator. She's working on it, folks. It'll take a while. Go up, give us 5 stars. We appreciate it greatly. Anyone that gives us a rating, we love it. It puts little furry wings on bunnies so they can fly. They love flying.
Anyways.
So give it 5 stars. It's great and wonderful. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like, smash that subscribe. We always want subscribers. We're craving more and more. We're looking for world domination.
No, we are not.
Candy and the brain.
We like
Candy
having
and the brain.
A community of stuffs. Why do I have to be pinky? I mean, I know my skin has a little bit of pink to it. It's a rosacea. I'm just kidding.
Yes, Candy. We're gonna rule the world tonight, Candy.
There's a little fly in here.
Here, I'll have Reese do a song on that so we can put that at the beginning of her podcast.
Should play off Pinky in the Brain. That would be kind of cute. No,
Candy
because I'm not Pinky. Why can't I be the brain?
Because you're candy. It's 2 syllables.
What's that supposed to mean?
It fits. You can't go
Dan and the brain.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's got to be 2 syllables, candy. We can change the brain, I guess.
We can go the brain and Dan. The brain and... That doesn't have a ring to it, does it?
It's got to be candy and the brain. Candy. Reese will love doing it. So maybe there'll be new music coming too.
How about just Candy and the Dan? You're the Dan now.
I'm the Dan.
We're still working on our ending too. We'll come up with something, and you guys will like it because we say you do.
Yeah.
Just kidding. If you don't like it, tell us. I don't know. It doesn't mean we will switch, but it's good to know it's good to get the feedback. Tell us what episodes you like, what you don't like. Give us some feedback, and that might help us steer it.
Yep. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're open to constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So do all that stuff. 5 stars, subscribe, like, website.
Smash buttons. I mean, smash the button.
Smash buttons. Smash buttons. Oh, man. What am I going to do with you?
Anyways. Yeah. Are you trying to listen to us?
Yeah, listen to us. What do you got for us, Candy? Zoinks!
Bye.